Welcome to Hot Takes Tuesdays, episode 14. Yes, you smell that in the air, guys. Do you smell that? It's a palpable smell. It's the smell of Nerdman's defeat. The smell of debate is in the air, guys. Guys, if you're watching this, I really appreciate you being here. This is Hot Takes Tuesdays, where every Tuesday, you guessed it, we give a hot take and we debate it. I'm terrible at intros, so I'm gonna get right into it. I have with me my co-host, as always, Hot Takes Tuesdays, aka the Nerdman.
What's up?
All right. Below me,
that's all I have to say.
I got a good buddy of mine, K-Dots. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? It's K-Dot, the number one Zack Snyder fan. Love his movies. Army of the Dead is peak cinema. That's all I got to say.
Just why? I mean, don't insult God like that.
Because no other film has perfected blurry camera angles. What film has perfected blurry camera angles?
Maybe the film I'm about to talk about. We'll see. So if you're watching this right now, guys, go to the Nerdman's channel. His channel is Hot Takes Tuesdays. If you're new here, we just did episode 13. I'm not gonna tell you what it was, but it was a fun one. Great conversation, and it was a good time. I'm choking. I'm choking on a chocolate pretzel. This is episode 14 of Hot Takes Tuesdays, and today I have a hot take that we usually talk about comic books, superheroes, stuff like that. But today we're just talking about movies in general. But the hot take doesn't always have to be movie. Could be comic book, could be video game, could be anything pop culture. But are you guys ready to see my hot take for today? I personally haven't had a hot take in 2 weeks. Hard for me to come up with hot takes. But this is something that I have felt for years. I used to actually love this movie. I loved it. Now, you guys ready?
I'm ready. I don't know what movie it is. I'm ready. Lay it on us.
First of all, let's change up the scenery a bit here. There we go. Dazed and Confused is in the top 10 most overrated movies of all time. Hands down, period. Dazed and Confused is not a good movie.
Dazed and Confused.
What a ridiculous this is the hottest take. Have you ever seen this, K-Dot?
Oh, damn it. No, he's looking it up. He's never seen it.
You've never seen it.
I was afraid of this.
I never seen this. Nope, I never seen this one. I know the actors in it, but I never seen this one.
It's the movie that blew up McConaughey where he goes, all right, all right, all right.
This is one of the hottest takes ever. And have you got another hot take just so that we could keep getting obviously K-Dot on this?
I have a perfect hot take that I'll save for Pickle. I have a perfect hot take that I'll save for Pickle.
I mean, K-Dot, if you have a hot take as well, we can discuss both of them because I want to get everybody involved.
Yeah, and then we can discuss this later.
It's hard for me to come up with. No, we're discussing it tonight.
Yeah,
this has been on my mind. This has been on my mind for 6 years. I used to love this movie back when I smoked marijuana.
And then
once I took the bell away. No.
Eroded your taste nerves or whatever, the taste center of your brain. And
I was an MCU fan before I saw this movie. K-Dot, you got a hot take?
I got a hot take. Now it's Dragon Ball related. I have a hot take and it's Dragon Ball related, Pickle.
You have to really believe in it though.
Oh, I don't know.
I believe in this hot take.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna do kind of a dual hot take here, and the Film Elitist is gonna show up soon. I sent the link to anybody in the comments who Geek Speak, Film Elitist, anybody who wants to join this. If you want to come fight, let's do it. K-Dot, he doesn't know anything about Dragon Ball Z, but I do. What's the hot take? Give me something good.
All right. Goku in the Cell Saga could have defeated Cell. He did not need Gohan. He could have defeated Cell.
Is that a hot take?
Is
that a hot take?
Dude, Pickle, trust me. Everyone who combats me tells me that Gohan was far stronger and superior to Goku at that time. But I would say different.
Wait. So let's get the film. The film elitist also loves Dragon Ball Z. So let's get him in here. I'll try to make it to where you both aren't kind of ostracized from the conversation. We'll talk about the Dragon Ball Z one for a little bit because I don't think it's that hot. I'm going to have to agree with him. Then we'll jump into Dazed and Confused. K-Dot, I'll do my best to try to get you in on it.
K-Dot, do you have one? Well, okay.
And if he doesn't have anything to say, you can just sit there and munch on your food and just look good.
I'll let you guys have your date. Hey, I'm cool with being a bystander. I'll be a bystander watching you two go at it about Dazed and Confused. Spoiling the movie for me.
I want to, K-Dot, do me a favor, right? Like, while we're doing this for a little bit, if you could think of a hot take, because it would be nice to have a guest do a hot take for once. You can think of a hot take. I don't know anything about, Dragon Ball Z, right? But, like, anything, I don't know.
Problem. That's a
That is
personal
my
problem.
That is my problem.
You're a piece of shit for that.
Wait, Nerdman, how old are you? You should have seen Dragon Ball. It's like
he's 58. He's my father.
I'm 56 years old. Yeah.
Wait, you're 56? I thought you was like 30 or something, man.
No, I'm not 56.
Okay, guys. Film elitist, what's up, man?
What up, Film elitist?
This is so ridiculous to think.
Did you see my hot take? It's at the bottom. Dazed and you know this because we know each other. Dazed and Confused is one of the top 10 most overrated movies of all time.
That's so ludicrous. I can't even begin to.
I agree, guys.
I knew that this was one of yours and your favorite movies of all time. And I thought, this movie is so overrated. I got to do this.
Dude, you know what? It's one of the most underrated movies.
I want to hear his.
But let me hear your reaction. Go
on.
Hey, what's up, Black Adam?
What's up, Black Adam?
Geek Speak, what's up, man? And Enzo, what's up, guy? Hey, Enzo, if you want to jump on here, man, if you're done playing 2K, man, jump on if you think I'm wrong.
No, I think you're really wrong. I think okay, maybe you could make an argument that it is overrated, but one of the 10 most. I'm just saying you could maybe make that argument, but one of the 10 most overrated movies in history.
Yeah. That's. No. I'm being specific here because saying overrated's kind of general. No. It's in the top 10 most overrated movies of all time.
Here's the format, dude. You're gonna have to explain to us why this is overrated and let us respond back.
This is Hot Takes Tuesday. I will explain my point.
What you're talking about.
As always, every video. This is the 14th episode. For the 14th time, I will explain my side, and you will be wrong.
Okay.
Right? Let me scoot my chair up.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. Okay. It has one of the best scores of all time. Not original soundtrack, but just soundtracks in general. It has some of the best cast for the parts that I've ever seen. Yeah. It has some of the most realistic dialogue I've ever seen in a movie, in terms of just honest conversations from regular people. Yeah, it's probably the best coming of age movie of all time too. Because it's not like formulaic in the sense that it's like, oh, the guy meets the girl and then he's got problems at home or whatever. It shows all the different flavors of people, and it's honest to Texas. It's honest to that time period. It's honest to the different types of people, the nerds, the jocks, just everybody. Yeah. And the philosophical questions are actually deep, even though it's coming from teenagers. They're asking questions that were still asking 40, 50 years later.
Phil Militis, you're gonna destroy him before he even makes his point. let's have him give his reasons.
No way. No. Geek Speak agrees with me. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is way better. I've never seen it.
I've seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and it is not. But Militis, I agree with everything you just said, but I do think we should allow him, since it's his hot take. Give us your reason.
K-Dot, you agree with me, right? Come on.
Oh yeah, I totally seen this movie. Henry Cavill is great in this movie. I love this movie. Henry Cavill is amazing. He's great.
It was his first role. Let's not forget that. Okay. I didn't even write any notes for this because this is coming straight off the dome.
Well, it said I looked at the casting. Ben Affleck's in this movie.
Ben Affleck is in this movie. Matthew McConaughey is in this movie. Who else?
Stop avoiding the shit. Get on with it. You know you haven't got a point. Go tell us why this movie.
Nerd man, you're really coming at me on this one.
One of the best movies of all fucking time is overrated. Let's get on. Let's go.
Dazed did what American Graffiti and Fast Time tried to do. Okay, guys. No. Okay, let me take this damn picture off because I'm tired of looking at their faces.
I've come up with some ridiculous shit in my time, but come on. All right.
No.
Masterpiece. Overrated. Go on.
This movie, it's okay. It's pretty good. I got to be honest. Fantastic soundtrack. I'm talking maybe a top 10 soundtrack of all time. I'll pull up the soundtrack in a second because we're classic rock lovers. Fantastic soundtrack. The soundtrack maybe holds the movie up other than McConaughey. It has one good to great performance in it, period. The only thing people remember this movie for is, all right, all right, all right. That's it. It's kind of funny the first couple times you see it, okay? The movie has no rewatchability. I'm sorry. This movie is so, and let me, I know you want to rip my head off. Let me go here. It's so basic. It is so generic. This movie is a nothing burger. Bye, K-Dots. Come back, K-Dots. Dude, this movie is a nothing burger. Literally. And you guys can rebut this. You can rebut this. Nothing happens. These philosophical debates that they have about life, dude.
I'm about to destroy you.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited, but
let me go.
You're both revving up. I got a lot to say here. So the movie starts with a great montage. Then you literally go from point A to point B. Every scene doesn't lead anywhere. The characters don't change. The characters don't grow. The fundamental things that movies need to do, have compelling characters and have a narrative that makes sense. Dude, their whole thing is they want to go see an Aerosmith concert. And then one of the kids, it has too many characters. One of the kids is playing baseball, but he's bullied. The other kids just want to get drunk. The other guys are nerds and they want to get laid. Yes, these are all fundamental things to being a teenager. Yes, we all had conversations like this. Who's going to the party tonight? Is Jennifer going to be there? I got the hots for Jennifer. The main character doesn't want to play football. Like, yeah, it has a couple funny lines. But at the end of the movie, nothing happens. It's a movie where nothing happens. Nobody changes. Nobody grows. What is the point of the movie other than watching teenagers get drunk, fucking, and then it's the end of high school. It's summer break. This movie goes nowhere. It is nothing. It's good. I'll give it that it's good. But people praise this movie as if it's an all-time masterpiece, and it's simply not. It simply is not. It's overrated as fuck.
Is that it? Have you finished?
I mean, no. I mean, that's just my opening salvo.
Okay.
You guys rip me apart, and then I'll rip you back.
All right. This is an auteur movie that is part of Richard Linklater's exploration of Texas, like and specifically the town he grew up in, Austin, and looking at it through the different eras and through different time periods of of life, essentially. So one thing that you must know when you say this film is about nothing and it's just about like these teenagers kind of hanging out, you have to look at this in the context of other movies he's made. Yeah, you have to look at it through the context of other movies he's made, like Slackers as well, which is set in the same kind of area, exploring a different time period and a different sorry, just K-Dot is kind of getting me. But a different time period and a different a different subsection or subculture, if you will. Again, like of these kind of aimless individuals, like trying to search for meaning, like some basic meaning within the context of American life. But let me get specifically onto this film itself. You say the film is about nothing, right? And I say that's the beauty of the movie, because in a sense, it's about everything and nothing at the same time. This moment in time means everything to them. Their decisions are so important to them. This guy who has this decision of whether to, sign the pledge for the football team or not. This is so significant and important to him, and it mirrors the importance and significance you felt in your youth of these decisions, which ultimately turn out to be insignificant in future. And that's the whole point of the nothingness of the nothingness at the center of the movie, that this nothingness feels like everything to them. They're getting Aerosmith tickets, right? Like, seems like the most important thing to them in the world at the moment, yet it's completely irrelevant in the context of who these people are inevitably going to become. It shows that, I mean, it's kind of, it's a weird film to even have this discussion about, because of the amount of layers that are in it. It's hard to even why I don't know why your mouth's agape at the moment. Like,
this is like a 7-layer dip, dude. This is like basic queso.
No.
Good.
Let me
good. It's not delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna finish because I'll take it on one point at a time. But like as I was saying,
I'll give you another minute. Wait, I'll give you another minute, and then film elitist.
I don't even need another minute. I don't need another minute. I'm gonna do it one point at a time, because I want you to be able to remember the points and respond to them. So the significance, right, of their choices, or the feeling of the significance of their choices, is what the movie is particularly driving at, which is the kind of sense of when you were young, right, that all of these things that were happening to you, which eventually you're going to get married, you're going to find a job, you're going to be settled down for like 60 years doing one thing, that this is what was so exciting and brilliant about youth. It is that celebration of that youthful moment of not knowing, not understanding who you're going to become, and feeling like everything that everything that you do, right, is going to somehow define you or whatever for the rest of your life. And it's that I think it just explores that so brilliantly in each and one of these characters, how they're wrestling and struggling with this issue of youth, I don't even know. Film elitist, are you getting where I'm coming from? Because it's a hard thing to kind of describe, but it is hard for you to fight this point. That's the tension in the movie. But go on. I'll let film elitist, because maybe I can clarify my point a little bit.
Okay, so
you have the floor.
I see where Hot Takes is coming from. I think what he's saying is it captures a specific moment in time, not only a time period, the 70s, but a time period in your life, that age, 18, 17, 14, from freshman all the way up to senior, the pressures of graduating and going to college and growing up, and you're starting to take politics seriously, and some other people that they're just looking at, like the guy with the football team, he's trying to make a decision of, am I going to sell out, or am I going to stand up for what I actually care about? Because football doesn't mean that much to me. And if I want to play, it's going to be on my terms. And that's setting a precedent for the rest of his life. And then these other people that are trying to get laid and stuff, some of them, they're virgins. And they have this societal expectation on them that they need to lose their virginity or whatever. Right. And the three nerds that are talking as they smoke, the philosophical ponderings, that's stuff that anybody that ever smoked weed and had a group of friends like that has done before. And let me just systematically smash Pickle on this, because I know him better than most people. And I happen to know that he detests and dislikes almost any movie or film that's about quote unquote nothing. From Seinfeld to Sunny in Philadelphia to The Sopranos, he hates shows that focus on the monotony of life because it depresses him that it's the reality. But guess what? That doesn't make it artistically less of merit. In fact, it's some of the most honest shit that you can say about society, is that life is kind of meaningless.
Personal shit against him. Use the personal shit against him, man. Go on, carry on, man.
Because that's the truth of life, is that it's kind of meaningless, and that the bigger philosophical questions are going to always be asked, whether it's 10 years from now or 100 years from now. we're going to be asking the same fucking questions we were asking. Are politicians corrupt? What's the nature of man?
Brilliant.
That's just how it is, man.
Brilliant point. And again,
No.
the fact of the universality of the movie is the fact that it's set in this specific time. Okay, all right, I'll save that point. But he's made a brilliant point just then. I'll save that point for later.
Go about another minute, and then K-Dot, I have a question for you to get you in on this.
Love it.
Thanks. All right.
I guess the point I'm trying
You'll get your time number. We got a lot of time here. We got like
45
minutes.
Go on.
It's not just good because it's probably the best movie ever about being young, and also accurate to Texas. But it's also like The Sopranos or Seinfeld or something like that. It's about the monotony of life, the nothingness, the in-between moments, because it's very rare that someone's getting married or having a kid or falling in love. Those things only happen a couple of times in your life. And Hollywood has this way of making everything about these monumental moments, but they're very few and far between. Most of your life is eating a bag of chips, jerking off, and thinking about your problems, if you're being honest with yourself. And that's depressing to people. But that's what the movie's kind of about in a way, is like these people chasing this feeling, of like trying to find.
It makes those moments joyous, and that's that you can celebrate those moments rather than be left in like some kind of deep depression or malaise about those moments. It's an actual celebration of the in-between moments, as you said. And I think that's the specific thing that this movie does so well, and why it's so universally loved.
Nerman, write it down.
Have something about nothingness. But,
write it down.
Okay.
You guys went on for a good bit.
Okay.
I'm tired of it. No. K-Dot. So do you enjoy movies like this where like it's just people hanging out and nothing really happens? Because if you watch the movie, there's not the movie ends. Happened. The movie ends. They get their Aerosmith tickets, and then it's like the end of the day, and they like, all go home after getting drunk and fucking. Like do you enjoy? No, do you genuinely enjoy movies like that?
I don't enjoy them on I don't chase after them, but I do enjoy them. Like I can't think of a movie right now that's like the one you're describing, but I know what you're describing. I'll give this as an example. I like a bunch of anime that are like that. A bunch of anime shows where like there's literally no end goal. By the end episode, it's just like they just graduate or something. They're just dealing with their high school antics, nothing much, going to a party. It's really no plot. It's just not even random stuff, but it's just regular stuff. Just regular, standard. But they try to gas it up like it's something more than it already is. So I would say I like them, but preferably for me, depending on the genre, depending on it, I have to go off the story. Depending on the story, if it's something that has to like really hit and go somewhere, then I'm gonna have more expectations for it. If it's a story that is clear cut, is gonna be a story about people goofing off. Like, for example, a Wake and Bake movie, Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong is a perfect example. Cheech and Chong is a perfect example. Two guys get high, and by the end of the movie, they're at a concert playing music. And it's really like, that's
This is better than that, K-Dot. I'll say that.
Okay, and why is it better? Because of the dialogue, because of the realism. Because of the... Okay, go on.
So you guys are so both of you you're saying that you like it because it mirrors like reality, like the mundaneness of everyday life. Like it's stuff that we've all been through. Like it's mirroring reality, stuff that happens in real life.
It also captures being young. It has a killer soundtrack. It's shot.
But was that one of your points? Was that one of your? You said that it's stuff that happens in real life.
Yes,
you said that. Okay, do we want to see a movie about child trafficking?
Yeah.
It depends if it's good.
Not pro child trafficking, but almost any other take I'll accept.
Yeah.
You guys are fucked up. But no, okay. Okay, K-Dot, let me explain to you. I'm gonna be objective here. I think the movie's good. It's a fine movie.
I want
It's a
to get you right now.
Get in my ass. I'm ready. It's a great movie to put on in the background when you're hanging out with some friends, you're cooking, you made some lasagna, you just want to put on something easy like Friends. Oh, but I don't have HBO Max. I have Dazed and Confused. I'll put on a fun movie to go to sleep to. It's one of those easygoing, fun movies that make you feel young. Yes. And Matthew McConaughey being in it. All right. Like that's all this movie is like quotes from McConaughey. You got some weed? No. It'd be cool if you did. Like, and then when he's like these girls, or he's like, I keep getting older. These girls stay the same age. Like people just quote McConaughey. And let me tell you the fucking plot of this movie. It starts out with a montage of people doing mundane stuff in high school to a fantastic kick-ass score. Then for 20 to 25 minutes of the movie is the kids, the freshmen. It's the last day of school, and they're trying to avoid getting their ass spanked by Ben Affleck with a paddle. That's 20 minutes of the movie is Ben Affleck smacking kids in the ass with a paddle. Okay, that's the big philosophical question is, do I want to get my ass spanked by a paddle? No. Then he follows them to their house. A mom pulls a shotgun on him. He swears to get revenge. The villain is born of this movie. Ben Affleck is a senior in high school. They go to a party. Oh, a guy steals some beer from a thing so they can have some beer at the party. They go to a party. A guy punches a guy. People make out. This movie, literally, these philosophical debates. I mean, questions about.
Wait.
No. Wait. I'm going. Yeah. These philosophical. You guys said. Let me. I wrote down what you said. They're asking the hard questions about life, the significance of the little choices. Dude, there are no philosophical ponderings. The long hair weed guy, he's like every weed guy that you know and that never left a small town going, dude, I wonder if we're like all like aliens. Like, are we the aliens? Like
gaslighting, bro.
No,
yeah, he's so gaslighting, dude.
I don't even know what that means.
He's so gaslighting.
And then there are two characters. They're just nerds and they're nervous to go to a party. They get to the party. A guy knocks another guy out. That's his character arc. This other girl, she wants to hook up with McConaughey. She doesn't. The main character is the only one with a sort of quality character where his parents and his football coach want him to play football, but he just wants to go to the damn Aerosmith concert and get drunk on the last day of school, and he can't do it. He's the only one with confliction. But guess what? At the end of the fucking movie, he just goes home. They get drunk. They have a good time and go home. No, it doesn't teach you anything about life. And I'm not saying every movie, these movies I do think are important.
It doesn't have to teach you anything about life.
I think Fast and Furious, this movie, like, I'm not saying they're the same thing, but movies that you can just put on and that are just fun and simple, I don't think they're below me and I'm better than it. It's just nothing happens.
I know you don't because you're in office.
Okay.
You know, it is good. My whole point is it's good. We can admit it's good. It's not one of the greatest movies of all time. If you look at most 100 top movies of all times list, a lot of people have Dazed and Confused. I don't know why the fuck they do, because it's fucking generic. It's good. It's not great.
Okay, first of all, there are many, many great performances in this movie.
Want the quotes.
Wait. There's a movie is supposed to show, not tell, right? It shows, not tells. It shows the kind of philosophy of the meander, the existential kind of sense of nothingness that these characters are feeling, the way they are trying to fill their lives with they're trying to fill their lives with random distractions to take them away from ultimately what they should be thinking about, or what so it. Let me, because I want to go back to, because you're distracting me with this whole philosophical point of the movie. Okay, the philosophy in the movie is quite simple, right? And it's quite elegantly portrayed. It's simply looking at how these characters represent the specificity of their time, but also the universality of youth, the universality of stages of life. Right, so that even though this was in the 70s and this is in Austin, Texas. And it's a very, very specific moment in history with the Vietnam War going, with the, civil rights movement, all of that playing out in the background of what is going on with these teenagers who all they care about is getting to a rock concert, even though there's these big thematic things happening in the background that essentially, independently of all of the specificity of the surrounding and what's going on, bell bottoms being in rather than, baggy jeans or whatever, that nonetheless, all of us have lived this because all of us are young. All of us have been through this stage, these questions, these dilemmas that we've all moved past, as you get into adulthood. But you can it's almost like to say a kind of literary reference, it's almost like a Proustian experience of just being entrenched in the memory of youth, the memory of like a specific time, right? And I think that's the beauty of it philosophically. It's not to say that any character specifically starts quoting Kant or Descartes or something like that and saying anything, deep in a sense of, they're going to question a very particular philosophical idea, because that would be unrealistic for these characters to actually do. I don't know if everyone's like, it looks like everyone's paused. Hello?
Still here.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're still here. Go ahead.
Sorry, but it would be unrealistic for these characters to start, speechifying upon deep philosophical kind of ideas, because that's not who they were. They were just young kids trying to get laid, trying to get drunk while their parents were away from, town or whatever. And it's done in a realistic and naturalistic way so that you believed every moment of it. And it also mirrors, no matter what era you're born in, or what time you were born in, whether it's the 80s, the 90s, or whatever, you've all experienced this stuff. And that makes you feel, like there's a kind of oneness to humanity, I guess. Like, that's the beauty of the film. It's like there is, no matter what, again, you can look at me as shocked as you want, but I think no matter what, that's what creating really relatable characters like this does. It makes you feel like, yeah, this isn't something I'm alone in. It's something that we've all experienced collectively. And it mitigates some of the, I don't know, trauma or suffering or whatever you want to call it of life. By doing
this is insane.
Let me dismantle
wait,
your ass, dude.
Hey, MSK, if you have seen Dazed and Confused, I think it's one of the top 10 most overrated movies of all time. If you disagree, get your ass on here.
Okay, right. Go on.
MSK doesn't watch movies. MSK doesn't watch movies, man.
Right. I'm thinking too highly of him, I guess. Elitist, tear me apart. I'm going to rejuvenate. I'm going to regenerate like Majin Buu, motherfucker.
I have been sitting here listening to this atrocious slander, dude. This fucking blasphemy. Let me get you. I'm gonna dismantle every point you made. I'm not joking. You said that I said it was philosophical, but that it was actually dumb and reductive. I'm gonna tell you why you're missing the point.
I'm sorry. Nerdman said philosophical.
Okay, well I did too. I made the point too, and I disagree with you that it's simple or reductive. It is honest and realistic. That doesn't mean that it's dumb. You know why it's not? Let me pull up a couple quotes for you. This is Matthew McConaughey when he was talking to Randall, the football player, on the football field at the end. He says, the older you get, the more rules they're going to try to get you to follow. But you just got to keep living, man. Livin. And yes, his character is kind of dumb. Livin or whatever. It's kind of funny. That doesn't make the quote not deep, because if you really think about it, there's a specific moment in time when you're young, when you're starting to figure out how the world works. That's deep, man. You're starting to figure out, hey, all these expectations that are put on me, all these rules they're going to try to get me to follow. I have to decide what kind of person I want to be. How am I going to operate in that world? Because it's not how I thought it was when I was 5 or 6, and everything was just video games and candy. You know what I'm saying? And then there's this other quote. I forgot the redhead girl's character, what her name is, but she's in the car with the other two kind of like
Darla?
guys. Yeah, Darla. And she goes, if we're all going to die anyway, shouldn't we be enjoying ourselves now?
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to quit thinking of the present like right now as some minor, insignificant preamble to something else, which is exactly what you accuse the film of being, but she's showing you the irony of it is that it's not every moment matters. It's not just the weddings and the babies. Every moment of your life matters. You only get one fucking life. And embracing that and living for the moment, that is deep, dude. That's fucking deep. And let me say one more thing.
Go ahead. Let me write down what you're saying.
I'm gonna dismantle this other argument you made that somehow the movie I'm trying to remember what you were saying. You were saying that it was not philosophical, and then you were saying that on top of that, here's what it is. What other movie has captured all the different types of characters that this movie managed to capture? Ben Affleck as the bully, the guy at the party that says, I'm here to drink beer and kick ass. It captures the bullies perfectly. It captures the nerds perfectly.
The young kids.
The young virgin girl that's like kind of coerced into being with the cheerleaders, the mean bitch cheerleaders, the jocks, the philosophical weed smokers. It literally encompasses every characterization of being in your youth and nails it. And to act like that's not an achievement is short selling it, and it's bullshit. You're gaslighting.
Yeah, it is bullshit. And just again, sorry, because I forgot, and I'm not actually going to say this point this time. That's another part of what it's doing. It's looking at these kind of hierarchical structures in schools or any kind of system. I don't know, because when you're making this stupid face, it is actually looking at that, and it's kind of it's a kind of analysis of those structures, how they're formed, what meaning they have to the individuals, how they define the individuals, right? Like, it's essentially, you go in like to a situation, and it shows how you're conditioned into identifying yourself as one thing or another, and that thing must therefore define who you are and who you're going to become. So if you look at how the nerds, right, like let me use an even better example. So you look at like what do they call it? The hazing rituals, right? Like at the in the beginning of the film, right? They've got these hazing rituals.
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't really happen in high schools. Yeah, continue.
Okay, look.
It did back then.
It happened with me on different levels. But when you first come into the school, they're deciding, like, ultimately, like these the popular girls, they're deciding who each of these girls are going to be. So that one of them, like, even she's actually she's one of the nice popular girls. She picks one of these girls out of this group and says, okay, you're cool, you're with us. This is going to define who this girl becomes, right, for the rest of her life in some ways, because she's going to identify herself as something, as that particular thing, which is going to lead on to how she does in school, and what if she's in the cheerleading squad, and do boys like her. All of those things are kind of determined superficially by these kind of rituals that ultimately govern this whole school and how the hierarchy kind of works from top to bottom. And that's a really interesting thing about the film as well, to kind of diagnose. It doesn't make any ultimate point about it. It doesn't say it's good or it's bad or try and judge it.
That's why he doesn't like
it. It shows it from an almost anthropological point of view, right? Where you're just like
you for a second,
kind of observing. Yeah, go for it.
He hates it when a movie or a TV show doesn't take a stance. And that's what's great about The Wire and The Sopranos and Seinfeld and Dazed and Confused. And he hates that shit. That's exactly why he hates it. The point you just made, we're never going to convince him that it's good.
You don't know me.
I do know you. You hate it when something doesn't take a stance on something. You hate that. but it's still exploring it. It's just not giving you the fucking easily digestible food, and that doesn't make it simple. That makes it more complicated. You fool.
You guys are okay.
Go
You're
on,
blowing my mind.
let's go on.
Let me go off for a second, then K-Dot, I'll find something for you to talk about. You got nerd man. You're saying some really nice words here. Some deep, nice sentences are coming out of your mouth. And I was about to call you on it, but finally you gave me an example. Because this whole time you guys have been giving me candy-coated bullshit, but you haven't given me examples in the movie.
Examples.
No, you gave me a couple quotes that is literally doing the thing you said it wasn't. It's explaining the whole
entire
thing.
Nerds arc represents.
What is the arc? Tell me the arcs of these characters and what they go through, because you go through the whole movie of nothing, and then she gives you this quote about what was the quote? What is life but this fucking meandering fucking thing? And then fucking him giving the quote about they're just gonna give you more rules. Like
In a single
we
day,
don't live in this idealistic. We don't live in. He's spouting out idealistic utopian ideals where there are no rules and he can't fucking rape high school kids. He's a fucking rapist.
Pickle.
I don't care what he says.
Pickle, to be fair to you, I don't agree with the point that he made about that guy saying with the LIVE quote. I don't think that was meant to be anything but that guy just being who he is, and he's kind of a dumb guy anyway, and it's not supposed to be that deep. It's supposed to be like almost facetious, like he's this guy's an idiot saying this thing. But what the girl said right in the car is the heart of the movie. It really is the heart of the movie. And the way it's described it, if he wants to go again, just to explain it one more time, just to give it to you one more time.
I don't know. I don't need to explain it again.
Okay,
he said that it's deep because she said it out loud. That doesn't make it deep.
No,
it's told, not shown.
That's gaslighting as like a motherfucker. That is not what he said.
You misrepresentative motherfucker. You politician motherfucker. It's deep because of the substance of what she's arguing. She's saying everything isn't just waiting for the next big thing to happen, the next big war, or the next big moment in my life where I get married or buy a house. Every moment matters. Every moment of your fucking insignificant, stupid little life, if you embrace it and see it for what it is.
But the movie doesn't show. How does the movie present that to us other than her saying it? Because the moments, they don't matter.
Because specifically these kids are doing nothing with their lives.
Right, exactly.
That's the whole point. Wait. Shit, the choice of them to go to this party, to break from the norm, to break from what is expected of them, to break from their social conditioning, and to try something new, to try something different, just because life is, and there's nothing else preferable to do in life than that. Really,
jump on there, man, real quick.
Look, just to finish my point, because like
you sons of bitches.
No, because what he
you guys went on for 8 minutes.
No. Because it's very, very important. If you don't understand this point, then you will be missing something crucial in the movie.
I get it, nerd man. This movie is anti-intellectual. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god!
You're creating themes where there are none. These are phantom themes.
You're purposely mischaracterizing, and then you're not even letting us finish what we're trying to say.
Bro,
Hold on, no, stop for a second.
You guys were saying a lot of things. I was trying to reply to that.
This is a
now you guys are trying to.
Look, this is a
You
really
won't even let us. You won't even let us.
Complicated.
You won't even let us build the basic foundation of our argument. And
yes, I have.
Hold on, no, stop. And then on top of that, you're criticizing all these other things that we haven't even got to get to, like Matthew McConaughey's performance and all this other stuff. We can't even get to these other points.
We'll get to that
because you won't even let us.
I'm addressing. You guys are talking about these deep themes. The deep themes. The deep themes. You don't understand
it. That's different than arguing that doesn't exist.
The things. You are not giving me a character arc or a character moment.
You don't need a character arc
that is showing.
No.
Nerd man, let me
in
finish.
The way you're talking about.
I'm sorry. Write your thoughts down. I have a lot to say. There are no moments that are deep or philosophical, like you guys are saying about these deep moments in life. K-Dot, please listen to me. I am the voice of reason right now. The movie is literally people going to all they want to do is get beer. I
Oh my
understand.
God.
I understand. I was in high school. All I wanted to do was fucking have friends, and I was ooh, is that girl looking at me? Ooh, who they didn't invite me to this party? What does that mean? I get it. It's all mundane, stupid, idiotic shit that is insignificant, and it
What
doesn't
is
matter.
significant?
It doesn't matter.
Your
Okay,
life isn't
have you finished
significant.
now?
Guess
No
what?
one's life is.
Film elitist. I get
Don't
it.
you get it?
Dr-
You're
Have you
arguing
finished
my
now?
drinking. No, I'm not done. Drinking. Write it down.
You're making my point for you.
Drinking beer. Okay. Tell me, in all of these scenes of them running, and I'm going to go through the whole movie, them running away from getting swatted by Ben Affleck. Okay. Them wanting to go get beer underage, and they steal the beer. Them playing pool. Them meeting Matthew McConaughey. Them going to a party. The geek is like, I had a dream about having sex with Abraham Lincoln. What is that? What? There are meaningless conversations in this movie. The kid goes to a baseball game and then he gets introduced to weed.
What conversation
okay.
is meaningful?
There
Is
are none.
Is this
Exactly,
conversation
exactly.
meaningful?
No.
You just-
In movies.
Is this conversation
Oh.
meaningful in some
Well, you
ways?
mean- you mean-
Look, let me ask you this.
No,
question
wait, let me answer that
because, like,
question. There are meaningful conversations about
Wrong.
life and the themes of life and friendship. This movie has none of that. And my biggest point is there are so many characters. There are like 8
Oh my
main
God.
characters.
You're fucking impossible.
Not one single character has time to breathe because they get a 2 or 3 minute scene, then it cuts to another one. They get a scene. It's like Friends. You get a scene with Ross and Rachel, then Joey and Chandler, then Monica,
All
then
right.
it cuts to
We
Phoebe.
get your point.
Wait. I'm not done.
Finish
I'm
it.
gonna keep going.
Go on.
And then it goes back and rinse and repeat. And each character gets a few minutes. This movie does that. They end a scene where nothing happens. They start the scene wanting beer, they get beer. It cuts to this person. I don't want to get swatted by Ben Affleck. I get swatted by Ben Affleck. Cuts to this girl. Oh, I'm getting mustard poured on me by a cheerleader. Then I go to a party. Then those characters don't even get an ending to their story until 45 minutes later. And the ending to the story was, I got the beer. Now I get to go home. I didn't get swatted by Ben Affleck. This movie is an absolute nothing burger, and none of these characters are deep or give you any philosophical deep themes.
I gotta say this, nerd man. You're purposefully constructing the argument as if it's getting the beer and getting the Aerosmith tickets, and you're completely ignoring everything that happens in the goddamn middle.
You give me scenes. You're not giving me scenes of what happens.
I had a chance to talk for the last 6 minutes because you've been ranting.
No. You guys went on for a long time. I'm controlling this. I want to go on a diatribe. Like, go on a diatribe.
Now I'm going to directly respond.
Nerd man. Wait, nerd man.
No,
I'm sorry, nerd man. Write whatever you think down.
Yeah.
Film elitist. You're. Come on, come at me.
I'm going to directly criticize everything you just said.
But no, I'm sorry. Let me say one thing. I need what I do in debates. I need examples from the movie. You can't just tell me the themes. I need examples that represent the themes.
All right, let him do it then. Let him do it.
No, I'm explaining what I need.
I fucking understand, man. I'm trying to tell you. God damn. I've never heard you be more ridiculous.
We have talked about this in real life before.
Okay, let him do it. Let him do it.
No. I'm not going to let him do it.
You want the fucking evidence? Let me give it to you. Your ability to get to everything that's not the point is like a master level politicking, dude. It's such bullshit. Okay, so the kids
fill out the 40 minutes till the minutes till it has to end. So, anyway, go on.
The nerds. Okay, let me tell you their exact arc of the movie, and don't interject on me. They start off playing poker, being kind of outcast, whatever. They're talking about where are we going to go to college, and we actually care about our grades, unlike a lot of these other people, and blah 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 blah. But then you see the redhead girl is kind of like trying to have this experience instead of always focusing on every expectation of I got to make straight A's and to get into college and go to Harvard. I'm going to try to get laid tonight. I'm going to try to do the opposite of what's expected of me as the scholarly nerd. Then the blonde-haired guy, he says, you know what? I'm going to try to do something similar. I'm going to smoke and drink, and I'm going to try to like make out with a chick. And then the other guy, he says, you know what? I'm tired of these fucking jocks always trying to stand up and lord over us in this societal patriarchy of masculinity. I'm going to fucking stand up to this cocksucker that's been bullying me. And all three of them experienced the thing that they set out to fucking do, to have an experience. Then, on top of that, the thing you were saying about McConaughey, how, well, just because we don't agree with what he's saying about the young girls, well, that makes it fucking, there's no point to it. Wrong. Because that guy exists. And you know fucking good and well, growing up in a small town in Texas, that guy exists. Half the people we went to high school with are that guy. They can't leave behind what they had in high school because that was the peak for them. That's what McConaughey represents. You're just purposely mischaracterizing everything about this movie, or you don't understand it. It's only one of the two. There's no other option.
I'm waiting for you to give me examples. That's good. That was your best argument yet.
That was a great argument. And the thing again is that, you know, art doesn't have to be just a commentary on society. It can just be a mirror reflecting it. And I think that's important sometimes to see. So like beyond everything, I get in a lot of ways what you're saying about the movie Pickle, but I just don't see how it's like a criticism. You're saying that this shows life as it is, right? And Film Elitis just described for you why, from a psychological standpoint, that's a really interesting thing to do. You know, especially with the guy that was played by Matthew McConaughey, as he says, which is, you know, there's this older guy who just can't escape, right? Like from the situation that, you know, like, or he can't escape from what he saw as the height, the best time of his life. And he's just standing around, standing, you know, in place, unable to move on. And there is that individual. And we know, like, the fascinating thing about the film is you can almost see echoes of what these people's futures are going to be based on where they are in this film at the moment. And it very explicitly does a lot to... Sorry, go on.
I'm saying, I'm just trying to help your argument a little bit. You only really need to see that one day to understand who these people are and where they're going.
Right, exactly. And
so you're prematurely judging them off of where they are in high school. How shallow is that?
What are you talking about? That's
you can tell where these people are going to go in life because of where they are in high school.
Matthew McConaughey is 6 years out of high school at that point or something like that. So,
but Nerdman just said we can kind of tell where they're going to go because of where they are on the last day of high school
and the decisions they're making.
You can see echoes. What I said is you can see echoes of what these people's lives might become, where they might end up on the basis of what we're seeing now. That doesn't mean it's defined, it's definitive. They could always do something to change, and we hope that they will, right? Like a lot of them, we hope that they will. We hope that these nerds will not just, you know, end up going, you know, along the path that's been set out for them and just try and succeed and essentially recreate the same issues and problems that their parents had and their parents' parents had, that they will somehow be able to break from the situation, you know, that ultimately society is trying to push them towards. That's what we love about these characters. We love the fact that we can see part of the potential of where they're going, but they're still young and they have the possibility to change, to break from that. And the ultimate character to show that in this movie is actually the footballer who does not want to, you know, sign that petition, not petition, to sign that pledge, to say that I'm gonna, you know, I pledge that I'm gonna be a footballer and I'm gonna do everything that the football team says, and
I can't smoke weed,
and I can't smoke weed, and I can't be friends with people who aren't, you know, supposedly responsible according to the football coaches.
That you're going to decide for me who I am.
That specific path is set out for him, and you see him breaking that path in the movie.
Has the best.
That is why he's the hero in some ways, you know, amongst all of the many different kind of characters that they follow, that he's the hero and heart of that story. Because again, that is what the movie does so well. And I know I'm speaking in generalities
I know
because
what you're saying.
because it is important to talk about the message of the, what message you can glean from the movie, and that is it. It's that.
Well, let me
Go on.
So Blasted, what's up, dude? If you're just getting on, I think Dazed and Confused is one of the most overrated movies of all time. K-Dot's never seen it. These guys think I'm fucking batshit crazy. But Nerdman, you're adding the subtext
I
of
think you don't understand it.
No, I do. No, I understand. I've seen it like 4 times.
Let him go for it.
I knew he was going to try to go here. It's so simple that it goes over your head. Let me smoke my pipe.
Forget about that. We accept that
you're adding the real life subtext of we know these people can change. Anybody can change and differ from the path that they're set on. You just said that. You're talking about that. Other than that, we can say that about any character in any movie.
No.
I'm sure the serial killer. We can't.
Can we emphasize the path? Because otherwise, we're not talking about the same thing. And I can't be bothered to do that.
You are talking about one character.
We're talking about the path, right?
Yes.
That is set by the socialization, the hierarchy and system of that education system, of that school, and the society around them. So this guy is on the path of he's going to be the football jock, right? And the football jock is going to do certain things in life, and he has to succeed at maybe being a footballer or going to college on a football scholarship.
No, man, don't waste your breath. Please,
that may be.
He's a good. But other than him, who else? He's the best character in the movie.
I'm sorry, I have to ask you one question real quick, Pickle. To use something you love against you in the Raimi Spider-Man movie and in the comics.
Give it to me.
Uncle Ben is asking or telling Peter, he says, this time period right now in your life is when a man turns into the man he's going to become. Yes, you can still change some things fundamentally, but who you are foundationally gets set in that time period in your life from 18 to 25 or 14 to 20, whatever. For most people, that's when you start to become a person. Okay, and you can change, yes, but deep down, your personality and the decisions you make and the person you're growing into, that's the cocoon that's being set right there for you to grow into a butterfly.
And society is forcing you, according to this film, society is forcing you often in one direction, right? They're forcing you, like, if you get good grades, then you should be doing this. If you are good at football, then you should be doing
stereotyping.
This. If you're somebody who just smokes drugs and doesn't pay attention at school, then likely this is going to happen to you, right? Like all of those things, but even the things that it's kind of interesting. I
have to address that before.
Oh man, you're doing it right now, nerd man.
No, it's not.
But even the things that. And this is the curious thing about this film, and it's really an interesting thesis, is that even the things that are supposedly that society is, condemns, right? Like, still these kids are being pushed in that direction, even subtly by the social mechanisms that are around them, right? So the kids that are doing drugs and dropping out of school, the school and all of the mechanisms around them, the way the football coaches look at them, the way the teachers look at them, what is expected of them, and how they're seen by the authorities and people around them, ultimately gets them to self-identify with the kind of the cloth or the costume that I've lost my point. I'll get back to this.
Nerdman, you unlocked something inside of me that I'm going to use on him later.
Write it down, Film Leaders, because you just made a point about the ramifications of not being what society wants you to be, and the ramifications of how people look at you when you're a stoner. No, when you're a stoner, I know this story. When you're supposed to be something and you're not that, but we don't see that in the movie. That's my point. There's one scene where he doesn't sign the paper, and his coach gets mad at him. And what's the quote where he says, what does he say? Like, you were hanging out with those wrong people. You don't see what his parents think. You don't see what society thinks of him.
Oh,
He goes off to the party.
Digging the hole for yourself.
No. He goes to the party and forgets about it. There are none of these deep themes or ramifications about what society thinks about him for not being a football player.
Because there aren't any ramifications. That's the point.
Exactly. This movie is nothing. And
No,
let me
hold
tell
on a
you.
second.
No. I'm finishing this, and then you can have your time. I'm sorry. I'm writing down my points. So you have to write down yours. And guess what? You're saying that they're making fun of these stereotypes. You're giving this movie too much credit. You don't know that. I think he just made easy stereotypes and showed them to us.
He's not making fun of the stereotypes.
He's not deconstructing the stereotypes.
Oh, he is.
He's not. No, he's not. How is he? Because he shows them just smoking weed. That's it. They go home. He shows them still drinking beer. They go home.
Of the stereotypes.
Nobody changes. You don't see society react to them.
All of the stereotypes are a product of the environment and the social.
It's not about society. It's about individuals.
Nerdman brought up society and what they think about these people. No, but they don't conform.
Elitist. In a way, it is about society. It's about the individual struggle against those social.
Right. I agree with
kind
that.
of mechanisms that are trying to define them externally.
Well, you guys got to write this down. I got more to say.
They're pushing this image on all of these different kids of where they are and what their potential is and
that's a lie.
What their possibilities are. It is. The school is, the coaches are, and even the setup of the school means that even the students themselves begin to be the self-orchestrators of their own limiting potentials it's such a difficult movie because I really love this movie, but it's hard to it's a lot deeper than you're giving it credit for. I'm
being genuine. I've never said this. I think you're genuinely having a hard time finding points because you're making it up.
No, I'm being genuine.
It's hard to defend this movie than more than a fun movie.
Now you're pissing me off. What I'm saying is, honestly, it's a little bit difficult to explain.
I've never heard you have this much.
It's difficult to explain because there's
nothing to explain. A lot. Because it's not easily digestible.
It's not. That's literally what it is.
It's not just about one thing.
Nerdman, grab a pencil, write down your points because I'm about to go off.
All right, wait, look. I'm going to get this one point out, and then you can say whatever.
And then, Tomalitis, you go after him.
You can see in the movie, it's established from the beginning that there are hierarchies between the type of students there are, who's popular, why they're popular, who's doing well at school, who's, dropping out, who's doing other kind of things. You can see all of the differences between these different kind of elements of the schools interacting, right? So the students are interacting with each other, from the popular to the least popular, and everything in between. From those who are younger as well, and it's not just the popular kids; it's like younger and older kids. So all of these different kind of structures and hierarchies are built between these different groups, right? Now, my point is that if you look at the film and you look at, for instance, just a simple thing of a teacher's attitude, right, towards I'm trying to think of the scene Film Elitist. Is that there's a teacher who starts criticizing one of the dropout kids, right? Like one of the kids who's not doing so well. I think it's either Matthew McConaughey or it's the one who talks about aliens, right?
It's the coach talking about the Matthew McConaughey saying he's a loser and look at all these people that you're hanging out with, something.
It's cartoonish.
Right. So do you understand? Can you recognize philosophical pickles? The way that these the attitudes that the society, that the whole kind of social structure has towards each one of these kids, in some way, defines their own self-image of themselves, and some of it's positive. It's a self-image that, because society deems that a good thing, that they they can identify with it in a way that I don't know. It's hard to explain. Normally, it's I'm gonna be able to get this out eventually.
You asked me a question. Yes, I agree that happens. That happens in real life. And first off, Corman Bates, what's up, man? So Corman Bates, the whole thing about this episode, I'm not saying this is a bad movie. I'm giving it to them that it's a good movie. It's pretty good. It's fun to put on the background. My whole point is people literally rate this movie as one of the greatest comedies of all time. And I say it's one of the most overrated movies of all time. Like, it's good. It's good. It's a great section of fun little short films. Like, each 10 minutes is short films of different characters. But it has no, you were saying, like, you get to go from this point to this point to this character. They're fun little short films of, we got to get the beer. Don't want to get spanked.
Am I going to get to talk?
Yes.
Yeah, let Phil talk now, man. Because
you're just making the same point over and over and over.
So are you guys, and you aren't even explaining it eloquently enough. That's why you're losing.
I'm not, definitely, and it's not that I'm losing.
I'm explaining to Corman what we've been talking about.
It's easier to say the film is about nothing and that it's just like there, and it has no arcs and it has too many characters than to actually explain the meaning behind the film. That's a much harder task that you've set for us. It has
no
cohesion.
Wait,
we've been speaking for a ton of time, and I'm not saying that because he's on my side. I'm saying
no. I get it.
He hasn't spoken.
No, that's fine. I'm going to speak because it's my stream. Respectfully. I want to get this out because we only have another 25 minutes. I want him to address what I'm saying.
You're not going to run the clock out on me, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to run.
What? This isn't football. I'm not Tom Brady. I'm not going to kneel on you. It's a division of short films put together, but there's no, as a full hour, 45-minute movie, there's no cohesion between the stories. It leads to nothing, and that's okay to have on the background. But it is overrated. That's the point. Address that point.
Okay, first I'm going to.
Is it overrated?
No, it's not. And I'm about to address, because you keep doing shit like that on purpose. Politicking. You won't let me address the last 30 minutes of bullshit of what Nerdman was trying to explain, and he was getting to the point of what I wanted to say. And then you say, well, is it overrated or not? Well, let's finish what we were saying first. And no, it's not overrated. What Nerdman, I think, is trying to get to, and what I realized, I have a perfect argument against you now. And you better not interrupt me, please, because I've been respectful in muting myself. I can give you 3 concrete examples of different character arcs and what they represent, of multiple characters that each represent a specific thing in the film. Ben Affleck and Matthew McConaughey, you know what they represent? People that willfully choose to stay in the past because it was the best time of their lives. And you see that it's kind of sad and shitty and embarrassing. Okay, then you have the 3 nerds and the football player. All 4 of them have societal expectations, parental expectations, expectation from the coach that this is how you're going to be. You're going to make straight A's. You're not going to smoke weed as a football player. Oh, you're a nerd. You can't get laid. Oh, you're a nerd. You can't stand up for yourself. And all of them represent, instead of letting society choose for you, or the school or your coach or your parents, you get to choose who you are. And they break the stereotype. No, they don't break it to society and change everybody's mind. They break it to themselves. They decide to be individuals. Then you have the little kid, Mitch, and the girl that becomes the cheerleader. You see how they're young and malleable, and how they're getting influenced by these other people to become what they expect them to be, or what they are by association. Those are 3 different complex things about identity all happening in one movie, and you have no rebuttal for that. You're full of shit. You're just straight full of shit.
That's absolutely true.
Oh, I do have a rebuttal for it.
That's a really good.
He's talking about what he just said.
Okay, and I'm
societal
going to
standards.
That.
Societal standards. Give me a scene where there's societal standards.
I just told you that the coach.
I want a specific scene that isn't the football coach.
All right,
hold on. I got it.
Let's go.
I got it. The nerds are in the car and they're all talking about how their parents have expectations about where they're going to college and stuff. Or when Mitch's parents let the older sister run around and do stuff like that, but then they tell him he's supposed to be the young innocent little league player. Those are all scenes. Those are 3 different scenes.
Okay. And guess what?
You're just missing the point. And I'm not saying that to talk down.
No. I get it.
To say that you're dumb.
You're fine.
I'm saying you truly are misinterpreting this film.
No, I'm not. Because you're saying, you literally said that they, at the end of they're changing, they break the societal norm that is put on their shoulders.
Yes.
Dude.
Or by their parents. Or by their teachers. It's not just the stereotype of what's on the TV.
Doing one thing different this movie takes place in one day. K-Dot, I'm about to get you back in this. It takes place over one day. A nerd going to a party and drinking beer when he usually wouldn't. Again. No. You said that they were changing fundamentally as a character. That is not powerful enough. It's not a real character change. It has nothing to do
with you drinking beer.
I've done different things for one day. That doesn't mean I had a fucking compelling character arc.
Pickle, being bullied your entire life and then I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Being bullied your entire life and then in one moment deciding to punch back, that's something that's going to echo through that guy's life. And if you're purposely saying that that's not true and you're trying to say, oh, it's as simple as he just decides to drink a beer. No, he's been bullied his whole life and then he punches a guy and fights back. That's important.
Even if it doesn't, right? It shows how difficult it is to break free from those social chains that bind you to a specific identity that is your self-image. That they can only do this for one day, possibly even. And then for the rest of their life, they're going to follow the path anyway that was set out for them.
So this movie's useless.
It's part of the irony of
the film. It's a waste of time.
It's of the irony and depth of the film.
You just admitted that this film is a waste of time.
Of the film. That's not a waste of time.
Because what they did in this movie, you just admitted that what they do in this movie probably won't impact their life.
But so why? Hold on. Great. It shows you the people that choose to stay in the same place on purpose, Ben Affleck and Matthew McConaughey, the people that are kind of pushed to who they become, Mitch and the young girl that joined the cheerleaders, and then the people that choose for themselves who they want to be and who they're going to be. And yes, it's only one night, but they're showing you in that moment with the subtext of you got to decide for yourself. You got to keep on living. You don't sign the paper. You got to stand up to the bully. And the things they're talking about, you're just purposely misrepresenting the importance of all of these other people deciding who they're going to become.
You're not honestly philosophical, Pickle, and I can see some of your points, but you are being reductionist, and that's what it is. You're saying, well, the things in this film, if it doesn't impact their lives for the rest of their lives, one, we don't know because they're fictional characters, so we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Yeah. It's almost up to the viewer to decide what's going to happen with these characters and to imagine what might happen with these characters. You can't really do it. You can't go beyond. You can't go beyond the end of the story and say, unless he decides to do some kind of sequel or something, like this impacted or it didn't. But the point is, at that moment, the possibility that it could is what is significant, and the fact that you feel the possibility that it could, fundamentally transform them, or it might be sadly that, the pressures of society are just too much and they're just going to end up being who they are anyway. Either way, it's a profound meditation on life.
I just wanted to say,
you're adding to the movie stuff that isn't there.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I just gave you 3 examples and you agreed with me that there were 3 different types of people. One that chose who they were going to be on purpose. They wanted to live in the past. The people that decided they were not going to become the stereotype, the nerds and the jock, that were going to do something different and decide for themselves who they were going to be. And then the people, the little kids, Mitch and the other girl, that were going to be kind of like group thinked into what they were going to become. You agree that those were 3 distinct sets of people making either choices for themselves, for the future, choice to live in the past, whatever. And that is deep, like the Nerdman is saying, because it shows you the colors of why people are who the fuck they
They
are.
are, exactly, and that's what it is. And let's just go, because before we end all of this, I think it's really and we can go back to the philosophical point after of what it's actually trying to say as a movie. But let's talk about the cinematography, the fucking editing together of this movie, the entertainment value. It's just a fun fucking movie watching
Now
these
you're speaking
kids
my language.
do what they're
Give me
doing.
tangible things in the movie.
The music. You're always talking about Guardians of the Galaxy and how it uses music in the movie and with the narrative. This movie really fucking puts you into the 70s with the selection and what the music it uses, and each scene how it enhances the musical score enhances the scene. I think it's Mitch is coming into the into the bar for the first time or something, and he's walking past all the guys playing snooker, and what is the song that plays behind that? The film elitist. I can sing the.
I don't know.
But anyway, the point that I'm saying is, just on a filmmaking level, if you're talking about this type of film, a coming of age movie, and how this movie is put together, it is beautiful looking, it is beautiful sounding, it is funny and engaging from the very beginning to the very end. All of the characters are fun and relatable and understandable. And they all manage, even though there's so many of them, to have somewhat meaningful arcs in the movie, right? Ben Affleck gets his comeuppance, right? He's the bully, like, who, he is standing in place and can't, and clearly is acting out his viciousness and anger of his situation upon these young kids, because in some ways they reflect what he's lost, right? And then you see the kids finally get their comeuppance on him, and it's glorious when it happens. It's a fun moment in the movie. It's an arc for him, right? You see.
It's something out of a Saturday morning cartoon.
All right, whatever. It's something out of a Saturday morning cartoon. The point is, all of these characters are fun to engage with and live with in that moment. It is it's a fun movie.
It's
one of the most straight up just an enjoyable movie to remember that moment in life, a special moment in life that everyone fucking misses, right? But everyone at the same time can be glad that they've got past in many ways as well.
Hey, K-Dot.
Right? Sorry, K-Dot, man.
K-Dot, do you have any thoughts on this?
He can't have.
Man, great movie. I love how Rihanna is like one of the main characters. I love this movie.
Oh, you're thinking about Battleship.
Can I finish off? Just finish you off, if you don't mind.
I mean, sure. Go ahead.
You're being very adversarial in your argument, saying it's reductionist and it's Saturday morning cartoons and meaningless. Let me tell you something.
I never said you guys said the word reductionist, not me.
Hold on a second. And a second ago, when he was bringing up all the tangible things, as you called them, you were alluding to that just 20 minutes ago when I explained all the other tangible shit, that it wasn't somehow tangible. You're listening to the arguments and purposely throwing them in the trash.
No.
Even when you know that they're right.
I'm not. No, I'm listening to your arguments.
The process in my head.
And it makes me no. I'm not saying this movie's garbage. That's the thing. I'm processing and thinking, yeah, that happens. It's a fun movie. It's overrated.
Let me spell this out.
Is it one of the greatest films of all time?
Let me spell this out for you.
People say that.
Hold on. Yes, it is.
It's like Linklater's third best movie.
Stop. Let me spell this out for you. One of the 10 to 15 best soundtracks ever in a movie. It's probably top 20 in terms of realism, or top 10 in terms of realism of the different flavors of people, true to Texas, whatever, just realism in general I've ever seen in a movie. Okay, so top 10 soundtrack, top 10 realism. It's got top-notch cinematography, at least a B+ acting at worst. And then on top of this, I'm going to keep going back to it. You keep dismissing it as some simpleton. It's just fun. You put it in the background while you're eating Doritos and you don't really pay attention. That's not what it is. It's showing you the complexity and breadth of different kinds of people, how they are, who they are, why they are the way they are, and how their decisions, little meaningless decisions, as you said, can affect the rest of your entire life and your identity. And to keep ignoring that is intellectually
we don't see that.
dishonest.
No.
If
I'm
you
sorry.
hold on a second, no, stop, stop.
But we don't see that. That's a lie. We don't see that.
Well, okay, give us an. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna ask you an example.
No, wait, let Phil
How
Melita
do we
finish.
not see that? No, you said we don't see that.
No,
How do
I
we
will
not
address
see
it
that?
when he's done. When he's done, I will say
what
it.
you're saying is the scenes that we're talking about that are in the film that he's
The
actually
implications
described much
you guys
more
are making.
eloquently than myself, right? The scenes that
Phil
he's
Melita.
described at length. Are you saying they're not in the film?
Phil Melita.
Or are you saying that
I will address.
that they
I
don't
will
mean
address
the
you
things
when
that
he's
we're
done.
saying?
If you're saying that to satisfy your need to see the evidence that the implications of what we're saying is actually true to make the film deep, that you actually have to see the next 60 years of these people's fucking lives to understand if it actually impacted them or not, what happened on this one night, you're a bullshitter. You're just a straight
How
bullshit.
have me and Phil Melita come to the same conclusions independently
You
of
both
each other?
like the movie. You saw it the same
so
way.
we liked the movie and we saw it the same way. So the meaning is in there.
No,
correct?
you guys are bringing meaning from real life because a movie that was.
So how did we come
my
to this?
final
Did
argument?
me and Phil Melita live the same life?
Two people
Are
can
we
hate,
the
two
same
people who don't know each other can hate black
Real
people.
quick,
They can be the KKK and never meet.
You keep calling the movie simple. What's more simple? Is it more simple to need a movie to show you the next 60 years of these people's lives to understand what it's saying? Or is it more simple to just get it at face value?
See, you're saying you need the next 60 years, you fucking idiot.
20 years,
no,
whatever, 10 years.
No.
Why do you need
I
any
want
more?
an ending to a character's arc. We do not get one.
I literally explained it to you.
No, you didn't. You just said we're getting these moments. And I agree that can affect you for the rest of your life.
The fucking arc is.
But we don't have the rest of their life to see.
Hold on.
You are adding stuff that is not in the movie.
No, I'm not.
In the context of the movie.
It's as simple as.
No, let me finish. In real life, no, Phil Melita, this is important. If I go to a party, we have done stuff in real life that we never thought we would do that didn't fucking shape our lives. We had a one crazy night, then we went to work the next day. Sometimes it's not that deep. This movie is not that deep. And I wonder, I'm not done. I'm not. This is my final salvo, and then you guys can address it. Let me go for a couple minutes here. Why is this? You guys said it's one of the best coming of age movies ever. It's not like everybody wants some. Every no, I'm making.
Give me some better ones that are
everybody. Everybody wants some. The sequel is just as good. I'm sorry. If you step back and take out McConaughey's quotes of all right, that movie is just as good. The quality is there. The character arcs, the themes of life, maybe a little less memorable, maybe a little less funny. It's almost as good. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is far better.
By Richard Linklater.
I believe
so. Another movie which I said that's part of.
It is. It's the spiritual successor.
Okay, all right. I've got something for that. Continue.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's Day Off destroys it. Some people, like Geek Speak, think that Fast Times at Ridgemont High is just as good. Breakfast Club is absolutely the best coming of age movie. That's a movie where I don't need to see what happens on Monday because these characters went through a journey in this movie.
Why is it any different?
Okay.
Because tangibly.
Let me destroy this point right here.
No, I'm answering your question. Nerdman, no.
Because I've seen that film.
No, Nerdman, no. I'm sorry. No, you can't go. I'm sorry.
Go on.
To quote Tarantino, I'm shutting your butt down. What did you ask me, Phil Melita?
No.
Oh, no, he asked me, why is Breakfast Club?
Yeah, tangibly explain.
Why do I not need to see their future?
Yeah, tangibly explain the difference.
Yes, because you see these character journeys of the geek, of the jock, this is what this is perfect.
You're proving my point for me.
This is perfect. We get to see what Dazed and Confused doesn't show us. And let me finish. No words. And then I won't interrupt anybody else.
I'm fucking leaving the stream, dude. You're pissing me off so bad. You've never made me more angry.
What are you talking? You can't
No,
take an
no,
argument so hard.
Let him finish it. Let him finish it, please.
You can't take an argument that you're gonna get triggered and leave.
I'm not taking
What are
it
you
personally.
talking
Go
about?
on, go on. What are you saying? Just quickly.
This movie.
Let's get this out there.
No, I'm gonna speak, and Film Elitist is gonna take it because he's
Yes,
wrong.
say it,
This
please.
movie gives you the character journeys, and I believe it did it before Dazed and Confused. So this was the trailblazer, and it was better. Of the geek, of the jock, of the loner, of the loser, and you see them actually in the movie change. Fundamentally, they open up about things in their life. About really, my dad has treated me so poorly that he made me abuse this kid. This one girl was mistreated at home, so she's a freak. This one girl, you think that she's this pretty girl who has sex with everybody, but the societal standards of having sex with men has destroyed her. She's like, I'm actually a virgin. This other guy who was burned and cut by his father, who smoked cigarettes, literally puts on a false persona because his father mistreated him so bad. And they get to know each other and actually realize we are all the same people. And then you have the open ending of, I don't give a fuck what happens on Monday. We had today. That movie, yes, it's all subjective, but that movie hit me where this one didn't, because I think those characters in that movie had a start, a middle, and an ending to their arc, while believably making us wonder what will happen on Monday. This movie had every character just end open-ended, and it wasn't satisfying to me.
Can I please respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, go on.
Well, Film Elitist is on the edge. Let him go.
I'll be quick, nerd man.
Yeah.
What you just said is wrong. The blonde-haired nerd in Dazed and Confused starts off in one place, alone. Nerd has a certain expectation of who he's supposed to be. Guess where he ends up? He's making out with the cute chick and dating her, and he's ascertained a little something from the night that, hey, you know what? It's not so bad to have a little experience and put myself out there. And I started in one place and I ended here. Okay, the other nerd, the guy that punches the bully, he starts off as, I've been taking shit my whole life. I'm so anxious by everything that's happening to me. It's about to give me an ulcer. And then he ends with, I punched a guy, got in a fight, had an experience. I ended in a different place. The redhead girl starts in one place. Societal expectations. I'm tired of always looking to the future. Tonight, I'm going to have an experience. She has the experience. She ends in a different place. The jock football player starts off, well, you're going to have to give in to coach. Ends in not giving in to coach. How do you not fucking see that you're making our point for us? Everything you just said is bullshit.
Okay, I want to just address this because you just talked about The Breakfast Club, right? So you're talking about one of the greatest teen movies of all time as well. The Breakfast Club is very, very good, but it's exploring things from a very, very different point of view. One is saying these kids are these particular stereotypes that exist within schools: the nerd, the loner girl, or whatever, or the girl who everyone thinks is getting laid or having sex. They're all these different types of characters that are standards for a school, right? They're standard characters that you will find in the school. And they're realizing through their one day together that actually they're all the same. That's the point of that movie. That's not the point of Dazed and Confused. And that's not a valid criticism to say that the point of this movie isn't the point of that movie. Yeah, that's a ridiculous kind of statement to make. Yeah, The Breakfast Club told its point, or made its point, and it made its point well through the journey of the characters, how the characters were written, and et cetera, et cetera. And it came to a very interesting, philosophical conclusion. But this movie, as me and the Film Elitist have stated, is looking more at social structures and how people respond to social structures in terms of their own identity, in terms of their own self-image. At that age where their personalities and who they see themselves as being is being molded. It's a very, very different type of story that it's trying to tell.
You just explained The Breakfast Club. Is that not the plot of Breakfast Club?
That is not the plot of the not in the same sense. You're looking at it from a much bigger scope with Dazed and Confused than the much more intimate kind of relationship that these four characters are having and discovering the commonalities they have between themselves, as opposed to a diverse cast of characters who are set on path by society, and in this one day come upon situations in which they either have to break from that path, or they find themselves again just conforming to the identity that society has chosen from them. It's the difference between those two types of characters that Dazed and Confused is exploring. Does that make? I don't know. Like
you and Filmolidist you're making good points, and we're gonna go around the round table for our final arguments.
But I think that's what you're missing.
No, I'm not missing anything. It's how much do you value that on the all-time scale of movies? My whole point is,
but it's not
a lot of people.
The meaning of sorry. This is.
And why do you get to decide what the point of a movie is?
This is.
And that I'm missing it.
That you said everybody wants some has the same kind of theme as Dazed and Confused.
Yes, I watched
that. Yes, that could be true. But I've seen Everybody Want Some. I watched it once. It's not very well done. It doesn't have the great score. It doesn't have as great acting in the film. All of the elements that make a great film are firing on all cylinders in Dazed and Confused. Yes, the meaning is profound and interesting. It's not the most profound meaning I've ever found in a film.
It's not profound at all.
That's not the singular component that makes a great film. A great film is an all-rounded artistic expression. It's the cinematography, it's the dialogue, the choices that are made in in music and scene, and just there's so much elements that build up into a great movie. So yes, the meaning of Dazed and Confused, as I said, I think it's profound. I think it's interesting, but that's not the singular thing that makes it a great movie. We've focused on that a lot, but all of the elements coming together, great fucking acting, great score, great cinematography, great script, right? Plus, you've got this meaning again, and plus you've got this thing that everybody can relate to. It's not just like a great script about some niche thing over in the corner that people don't tend to, they haven't experienced, or they can't view their own lives in. This is something that has a universal quality about it because it is about youth, essentially, right? And it's about that moment that, again, I'll say it again and again, it's about that moment when you are caught between that social conditioning and the choice, or making the choice to define who you are yourself. And each of those characters represent that to on one level or another, right?
Is the movie overrated?
Absolutely not. It's
all right.
At least a 5. I think it's a 4.5 star movie at very least.
It's a 9 out of 10.
It's a 9 out of 10, an absolute 9 out of 10, possibly 10 out of 10. I'm saying at very least. I can think of very few critiques. There's not like wasted scenes.
Would it be on your top 50 movies?
Yes, easily.
All right. Film elitist, what are your final thoughts? Unleash for as long as you want.
You almost hit me in the cardiac arrest with this one. I think you really need to take a look at how you think about things or view things, because on one hand, you told the nerd man, why does he get to decide what the meaning of the movie is? But when he was talking about how profound it was, you said it's not profound. Well, why do you get to decide it's not profound? How about you accept that things are subjective, but within that subjectivity, there is objectivity, right? In terms of cinematography, the score, the fact that it's not bad acting, even if you don't think it's the best acting, it's not bad. You can't accuse it of being that. You can't accuse it of being
funny as well.
You can't accuse it of it might not be hilarious, but you can't accuse it of being boring or not funny at all. You can't accuse it of being particularly bad in any one particular area specifically. So how could it be overrated?
Because people generally when they say it's one of the greatest movies of all time, and it's not. It simply isn't.
No. Because again,
Well,
I
film
think
elite.
that-
No, man, you had your time.
Okay. All right.
Film elitist.
I just think.
Do you think it's overrated?
No, I don't.
You think it's like on the same level as like The Godfather and Rocky?
Not quite
It's
there.
better than Rocky. It's better than Rocky.
It
Not
probably
as
is.
good as The Godfather.
Right, but it's just outside of the top 10 of my favorite movies. It's probably like in the 15s. But I think it's one of the best movies out there for sure. And here's the thing, man. You can keep ignoring the mountain of evidence that we two independent people from different sides of the globe, skin colors, ages, like we couldn't be more different people in a lot of ways, right? And we independently came to the same interpretation of what the film means. So maybe fundamentally, you're being either cynical or you just don't get, and I'm not saying this punching down, but you are not understanding the concept of what he was going for. You are just looking at it as it's a fun movie about stupid high school kids who drink. And I know that you're looking at it that way because you keep saying it out loud.
It's very surface interpretation.
Yeah,
like,
you keep
of what you're watching, right?
You keep saying out loud the thing that you're saying that you're not doing. When you say, it's just a movie about high school kids drinking beer and getting laid, then I know that's all you're looking at it as. You're
all right, let me ask one
something
question
here.
before we go, because this is really important. Do you think those rituals in the beginning, how do you read the rituals? Even if you say that it didn't happen in school, why is the filmmaker doing those things? And why does the filmmaker choose that one girl is specifically chosen from the what do you call the younger years in America? The freshman. Why do they choose one girl from the freshman and one boy from the freshman? What is the meaning that the filmmaker is trying to get at by those two kids being taken out, being plucked out of this ritual, right? What are they trying to say about how that is going to impact these kids' identities for the rest of their life?
Nerdman, you've listened to Linklater talk about this movie. He grew up in Texas, as did I. This is just some stuff that he might have witnessed, and he made a movie about it.
Dude, forget about what he witnessed. Forget about what he witnessed and what he said.
To put on screen.
How do you interpret the fact
I interpret it as you go to high school. You go to high school, and it's that's just what happens. There's hazing sometimes.
No more of this bullshit. I'm not having it.
Can I explain what I'm feeling?
Hold on,
because guess what? It is subjective.
Hold on.
You guys have brought up. You saying there are objective truths, dude. I could think this movie's not funny. You're bringing it. You guys have, and I can prove it. Have brought in themes that aren't in this movie, and you've brought it to the themes of the movie that aren't in it.
So when I go on, Film Elitist, please.
I was trying to answer that question, Film Elitist.
Yeah, please. I want you to answer the question, but you're not.
I want you to answer too. I just want to specifically make sure that we're on the same page here. What he's asking is, yes, those are things Richard Linklater saw growing up. Why did he specifically not just put it in the movie, but in the context of those two characters, show these are the things happening in high school, and these people get plucked out and put into them? What does that say? What's he exploring?
He's showing that when you go to high school,
no, go on, let him answer, please.
You're going to be controlled by the hierarchy of the higher levels. You're going to get your head dunked. You're going to have to do things, carry people's backpacks, get wedgies.
So it's not just a movie about drinking beer and having sex then. You just proved our point.
Okay. That is also true, but like
it's a good movie.
One thing philosophical.
No more one things.
Did you notice something?
K-Dot needs to speak and not eat.
Did you notice something there? It's not that easy to explain, but you can see it because you're a human being.
Because I'm trying to find something
there. Wait. Let me just repeat that. It's not so easy to identify and communicate. Film Elitist and you, Pickle. when you actually film elitist and you pick, I'm going to give you a compliment here. Just give me a second. Both of you are so good. Yeah, when you actually see something in a movie, you're so good at communicating and identifying what that specific thing is and drawing out the meaning of it. It's not so easy for like the average person to always do. But the fact that you're a human being, you can identify and relate to that moment of a choice being made from outside of you, right? Like that's what's happening in that ritual, in that moment. They could be like the rest of the freshmen. And if they're not chosen or selected, right, it fundamentally changes who they are and who they're going to see themselves as for the rest. So we know, for instance, that young kid who was, gets beaten and smacked with
Nerd Man
with the bat, he's going to become one of the cool kids now, right? So the next year, he's not going to have to go through all of that like the rest of his friends. And in fact, that very simple choice that is made on his behalf might mean that his friendship with the rest of the guys isn't going to even last that long. It's gonna fade because they're going to be part of a new group and he's going to be part of a popular group, right? So again, you can see You can see the social dynamics. You can see the social dynamics unfolding in the specific things that are external to the character, like the social things that are defining
because it's not valid to just laugh and make faces.
I'm laughing at because
what's funny about it.
I'll tell you because
it's the social thing defining the character from the outside and who he's going to be.
Nerdman is making.
You can see the social mechanics.
You're making. I think you're making chess out of checkers. You're making a simple game into something more complex because you could take a movie where a guy goes in for a job interview. He doesn't get it. You see him leave that job interview, and you could say the social dynamics of the world and the job industry, that man's going to go home and be depressed. Now he's going to go home and he's not going to be able to feed his kids. His kids are going to his kids are going to get taken away by CPS. He's going to end up not being able to pay for his daughter, his father's hospital bills. He's going to end up killing himself. And you're adding stuff to the movie that's not there.
Adding anything.
No.
Mitch.
He's adding stuff. Yes.
You don't let me talk. I'm leaving the stream.
No. I'm addressing something and you're interrupting me. I have to unpack, like Nerdman says. He's adding stuff to the scene.
Because I want to hear what you're going to say.
We can say that's going to happen to her off screen. That's the point. You have to do that in every scene. You have to assume what's going to happen off screen because what's shown on screen isn't enough.
You don't assume what happens to Mitch. You don't assume what happens to Mitch. You see that he goes off to the party with the popular kids and he scores with
Filmolitis, isn't that what he just did? You could say that about any character.
No.
But anything how
about you address the fact that you're wrong and he's proving you wrong?
No, I just K-Dot. Was that not a good point? He just said that because somebody had something happen to them in high school, he's saying what's going to happen to them in real life off screen.
No, hold on a second.
You could say somebody not getting a job interview.
Wait. Philosophical pickle. Just before you talk elitist, Mitch and the other girl, you find out what happens to them.
That's fine.
Them
I'm talking about the scene you're talking about.
No. That's in the beginning of the film.
Just 2 minutes ago, you were laughing at him as he explained.
Yes.
Stop.
I laughed.
Hold on. Let film elite speak now. Come on, man.
I will not let him speak.
You need to shut the fuck up and let me talk.
Elite, please.
You were laughing at him as he explained why the kid, Mitch, was having this whole dynamic about he started off in one place as a nerd, and now the rest of his high school years are going to be changed. His dynamics with his friends that were the nerds is now going to be different. Who he is going to be different. He's going to be sleeping with people, all this stuff because the cool kids took him in and smoked weed with him, and they said, hey, kid, you're one of us now. And then you were laughing and saying that he was making something out of nothing. Then we specifically explained to you, you saw it in the movie. Then you used an example and said, I could say a guy going into a job interview and then blah, 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 blah. And then he goes home and he loses his kids to CPS. Motherfucker, we're telling you exactly what happened in the movie. Objectively, factually the way it was written, filmed, and put on the fucking screen.
Nerdman added stuff that would happen to him later in his life.
No, he said the next year when he goes to school, those kids, their relationship are going to be different. Who he's going to be in high school
added something that wasn't in the movie. Address that. He added something that wasn't in the movie.
You literally see in the movie when he's at the pool hall, his friends.
Wait a second. All right, let me.
I'm helping you out here. I'm helping you out.
No. Go on. I'm gonna smoke him right now.
There's a specific scene at the pool hall when the cool kids have accepted Mitch. When the nerds come, his two nerd friends come up to him and they're like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And he's telling them, I'm hanging out with these guys. I can't really hang out with you guys, and they have to go off and leave. Right,
exactly. And dude, look, do we know Captain America? Right, we presume that he has a happy life with Peggy, right? We know, like, we can presume the kind of details of like the kind of life that he's going to lead by the end of the film. Or, you know, Bruce Wayne at the end of The Dark Knight Rises with Catwoman, right? Like he's sitting at the bar. We kind of can assume some things outside of the movie that we can infer to go, oh, this is slightly a happy ending. It lifts our mood a little bit because we know that Bruce Wayne, in the end got to live something of a life away from the trauma of what had been driving him the whole time during these movies. So we can infer things obviously from film that is obvious, that is text that is laid out for us, right? By the text of what it's actually saying, not subtext, the text of what it's saying in the film. These rituals and the fact that these guys were plucked out of these rituals was purposefully done, and they were purposely actually what would you say, not mirrored but like parallel to each other, right? The girl and the boy, right? The young girl and the young boy and his friends.
And remember, we have to wrap it up soon.
We do have to
roll this into your final. This has to be our final. Everything you want to get off your chest.
No, there's not much I want to get off my chest. I'm just kind of repeating myself now. But like, this was perfectly paralleled in this movie, and their journeys were perfectly parallel. So you can see it.
He's saying it's in the movie, and you're saying it's not. So there's cognitive dissonance happening here.
No, you use that too much. There's not.
No, that's literally the definition. When someone's giving you the examples and you're saying they don't exist.
I didn't say that.
What the fuck else can we do?
I didn't say that.
You're saying the shit that happens in the movie is all subtext, and we're telling you what actually happens.
Most characters, I literally said earlier, you can go back. I said there are two good characters in this movie. It's the kid with the long hair and the main guy. Everybody else is shit.
Okay, all right. Pickle.
I need final.
I didn't fold my final thought.
Your
here.
final thoughts.
Pickle.
If this is this movie overrated,
why is it? Let me ask you one question then. Final question, because I don't think we can really convince you otherwise. Do you, when you watch this movie, imagine what might happen to these people in the future? Do you imagine what might happen to like each of the individual characters?
But I do that with every movie.
Not just naturally out of curiosity.
I do that with every movie.
Okay, so the point you just made against what I was saying about the ritualistic, them being plucked out of this ritualistic kind of thing that they were doing, the hazing or whatever, and that this is going to fundamentally transform his life and change him from what was from where he was, and even change the very friends he's having, because that's the kind of bittersweetness of his character, during the movie, is like he's got these friends who are his best friends in life, and that what has happened to him is fundamentally going to change him so much because of the social dynamics that are placed on this school that are external to these kids, right? That they're just going to be forced to live.
Okay, Nerdman, you are repeating yourself.
No.
I get your point.
But they're going to be forced to go along with that, and that is going to separate and deviate their paths.
Okay, and is this your last argument?
No, but my point is, this because that's naturally what the film is telling you from the text of the movie.
You asked me.
That is what the film is wanting you to infer.
You asked me, do I think about movies when they're done? Like, what's going to happen to these characters?
No.
No. And I said,
think
yes, I do it for every movie. It's not just intrinsic to this movie. This movie didn't make me think about it. There could be a movie.
My argument.
There,
the point is
that was how you opened it, Nerdman. No, that's literally what you said.
No, Pickle. There is something
said
that the writer wants you to feel about where
failed.
the characters' journeys are going.
Failed.
Bullshit. You know exactly. So you didn't think that kid was gonna? You don't think Mitch was gonna become popular?
No.
Oh, you didn't think that?
Because you know what they did to him. You know what he did to his. You know what he did to his friends about I can't talk to you right now. They're gonna do it to him when he's no longer useful. Yeah, I can infer what's gonna happen in the future. But like I said, I do it. There could be a movie about a guy taking a shit, and I'll wonder where he's gonna go. It's not because this movie did a good job of making me think. Now, Nerdman, is that your final argument?
What made you think what the writer and filmmaker wanted you to suppose about?
It's a pretty good movie. Yes.
Wait, you asked me a question. You asked me a question. It made you think and ponder what the writer wanted you to ponder and think about these characters and where their journeys might go. Anyway, that's it.
That's all night. Film elitist.
I'm not even going to bother with this anymore. I'm out.
No, I'm out. What are your final words?
I don't have any final words.
Film elitist is 100% going to call me when this is done and rip me. He's going to be like, you were so fucking wrong, and he's going to get my ass, which is okay.
Okay, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you why. I'm sorry for getting mad at you and cussing at you and
shit. It's okay. We know each other
in
real life.
No, this is the most ridiculous I've ever heard you be, and I think it's fucking intentional, and it's bullshit. And it's not that I disagree with you, so I'm mad at you. It's that I disagree with you, and you're purposely being intellectually Hold on, let me finish.
But we've had this conversation before. Why are you surprised? You know I don't like this movie.
No. I just told you I'm not mad that you don't like the movie. I'm not mad at your fucking. I'm not mad at your hot take. I'm mad at the way you're arguing. It's ridiculous. Laughing at us and smiling and making fucking faces while we're actually giving you context, and your only argument is it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Dumb. The filmmaker failed. Hold on. Stop. I'm going to say one last thing. He literally just explained to you that Mitch starts in one place. He's a nerd getting paddled. He plays Little League. He does all this shit. In the end, the fucking cool guys take him in. He's smoking weed, drinking beer, and he can't even hang out with his friends anymore. And you're saying that we have to infer that. It's fucking shown to you. It's literally shown to you in the movie. If you can't accept that, that's no one else's fault. There's no argument left to be made.
It's not well done, motherfucker.
Anyway, all right, guys.
We're gonna hit 2 hours. It's not well done. Yes, if you guys have brought up some points, and I addressed them.
You said it was subtext.
Said
it was subtext. It's
let him respond, if you're gonna do it.
Yes, there are one. I've admitted this whole time there are 1 or 2 characters that are good, but there are like 9 main characters.
Oh, you keep moving the pedestal, dude.
Yes, because I'm malleable. I can change if you make good points. More than half of the characters in this movie, are hollow, and their character arcs go nowhere. And these so-called character arcs, where the Breakfast Club got hours.
Do you know protagonists and antagonists?
Nerd, right? Man, you're done.
Okay.
Yes, Nerd, man. No, what was I saying?
No, because you're saying the characters are hollow, and I'm just saying that there are protagonists and antagonists, and the protagonists are going on journeys that the antagonists are helping them realize, right? Like that's the whole thing.
I don't think it was well done. Each character, if this movie would have been reduced, half the characters, give us 4 main characters, I think it might be a fantastic movie. The whole point, this is my last thing. And then I'll let K-Dot say whatever he wants. It's all subjective, of course. You're talking down to me as if I don't get it. No. This guy is. Film Elitist is saying that all my arguments is just dumb. No, go back and listen to what I'm saying. The things that you're saying, you are adding subtext to where there is none in the movie. Don't respond to that. You think we're not going to agree on this. You know that I don't like this movie. I think it's good. You
just went back to something I just proved you wrong on.
No, you didn't. Because I proved you wrong many times. Back when I smoked a lot of
This is
marijuana
childish.
back when I smoked a lot of marijuana. See, no. You're saying now you're starting to piss me off because you're saying that you're saying it's
Jesus
dumb.
Christ.
Your fucking arguments are childish. You are reducing my arguments to make yourself win, and you are failing, just like Linklater failed. The cinematography in this movie, literally. I mean, nothing against Kiwi. Tyler, you could have made this movie. It is a competently made movie, competently acted. There are some funny jokes. Nerdman, let me finish, please.
Okay,
It's competent. I'm on a roll. Don't derail
No,
me.
you're not.
It's competently acted. It's competent. I triggered him. He's gone. He'll call me later. It's competently acted, competently written. There's some jokes in there that are funny. It's quotable. It's a fun movie to watch. The cinematography is competent. It is a good, competent movie with a few themes about growing up and being in the moment.
Is he so
I get
angry about like these?
because this is how we are in real life. Because he can't debate me. Because
he did a very good job of like.
No, I know
think
he did.
He explained
He
so eloquently so many thoughts.
He
that
tried.
And it's
But
like
Nerdman, I'm not done.
It's a
I'm
dense
not done.
movie. It's a very dense movie, and it's hard to unpack. And he did a really good job.
You guys did a fantastic job. The point is, I think this movie is a nothing burger. You guys think it's more. My whole point is, it's good. It's not one of the. It's not one of the. It's K-Dot. My whole point, K-Dot. Yeah, as a third party, by everything that we've said. Do you think this is one of the greatest movies of all time?
Go and watch the movie, and then one day we'll have the discussion. Go and watch the movie, K-Dot. You'll thank me later. It's a very fun movie, but let's not.
Well, Corman, the film elitist.
I'll have to watch this movie because
you want to watch it now.
Yeah, I'll have to watch this. I have to watch this so I can be the person in the middle that goes like, "Man, Pickle was always right," or "Nerdman was always right." Pickle, I gotta watch this myself. Because a lot of films like this, right? Cheech and Chong type of films, that. Tony brought up something earlier. He said this movie is like American Pie. This movie is like American Pie, and that kind of gave me an idea of what the movie is. I'm not saying that
it's a lot better.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's no like subliminal meanings and stuff to this film or whatever. It's just that I don't think it might be as like. I have to watch it. I don't think it's a deep movie or whatever. But I'll have to watch it myself. I can't pick a winner. I have to watch it myself.
I'll tell you this, K-Dot. Even if you don't find this movie deep, you will find it a hell of a lot of fun because it's
if you've never seen it, I say
well-made,
it's a pretty good
funny,
movie.
just a relatable movie. That beyond any deeper meaning that it might have, it's just fucking entertaining. Just on its entertainment value alone, I think it's one of the great fucking coming of age movies, and if not one of the greatest movies ever. But then you add some of the deeper meaning to it. I think it adds an extra flavor to what's just ultimately an entertaining movie anyway.
Well, dude, the film elitist knows that this is like one of my ratings for movies. I say it all the time is. This is a movie I would watch while I'm eating. This is one of those movies. It's a feel good watch while I'm eating movie. Yeah. It's a solid 6.5 out of 10. I just think it's far overrated. That's what we lost that overrated.
All right, we got it. You think it's overrated, but K-Dot, go watch the movie. Make up your own mind.
Watch it. I do think it's a good movie. It's pretty good.
I think you'll have fun, dude.
And if you smoke. Anybody smokes marijuana, you'll like the movie. When I used to smoke, that's what I was saying before he left. I thought of this movie as you guys. I thought it was so deep and it was amazing. Then I watched it after I was 19 and high, and I just didn't see it the same way. So, film elitist, what's up?
You do understand that the reason I got angry at you isn't because you don't like the movie. It's that you're a bullshitter. You just said, hold on a second. I'm done. I'm just gonna fucking call it how it is because it got heated. So let's just say it how it is. You just twice did the thing you accused us of doing. That you said I was making your arguments on that they were dumb and you were simple. You're the one that used that language to characterize this movie. You're the one that made it personal like that, making faces and saying this is the kind of movie you watch when you're 19 and you're high, or you're eating fucking lasagna and you're too dumb to fucking pay attention to it. And you did it over and over and
Never
over
said
again
that.
until you pushed us to get heated.
But you're literally adding words to my mouth that I didn't say.
To be
So
fair,
you're wrong.
he didn't say that.
Okay, you didn't say.
Thing he just said.
I personally, it's a movie that I like to put on. It's a feel-good movie that I like to watch when I'm eating lasagna.
You continuously characterized the movie, mischaracterized it as dumb and reductive and something you watch in the background and something you do when you eat. And then when we gave you specific examples, you couldn't acknowledge them until 30 minutes after the fact, after you already retconned it out. It's just the whole way you argued this was ridiculous to me, and it pissed me off. I've never seen you be this ridiculous.
Dude,
it's unbelievable.
What about when I told you that Joss Whedon was better than Stanley Kubrick? That was the most angry you've ever been at me.
That was true, because that was coming right off the back of Age of Ultron. And
I was fucking with you that time. K-Dot, do you have any last thoughts? I mean, I'm sorry you didn't get to talk a lot, man. I was hoping that I really didn't expect this to. I did not expect this to be the most heated Hot Takes Tuesday yet. I honestly was thinking, I hope that they're like into it. Fuck.
No, I haven't seen this movie in a while, so it was just kind of like trying to remember the scenes to contextualize my feelings about it. But I know it's there, but I always remember the impressions and the meaning of things rather than the specific scenes, in there. And I think it's valid to ask, hey, what scene? Give me evidence. So I think that's good. It sharpens the mind to be able to try and contextualize it into like these moments. So I think you put forward a good argument, Pickle. To be honest,
what's hilarious about what you're saying about it leaving you with the feeling, you know how we were talking the other day, I think it was off stream, about Donnie Darko doing the same thing for both of us. He thinks Donnie Darko is overrated too. So that shows you what we're dealing with here, guys.
Have you seen Donnie Darko, K-Dot? You haven't seen Donnie Darko? Jesus. Nope. Have you seen any movie outside the MCU and DCU? Working Dragon Ball?
Well, you guys mentioned a movie earlier. You guys mentioned a movie earlier, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Is that the movie where that guy is has to fight that bully at the end of the movie?
3 O'Clock High, you're thinking of?
Dude,
that's what I'm thinking about.
Dude, Sean Penn is in it.
That one's really good.
But dude, that's a great ending to this. Like, why is Dazed and Confused any better than any other like average coming of age like high school pot smoking movie? It just kind of blends in there.
I love 3 O'Clock High, but it's not as in depth. I'll tell you, if you were making this argument about 3 O'Clock High, I'll be on your side. That is just a plain straight like coming of age, but like this guy has to fight a bully. It's not got any deeper social meanings or anything like that.
I want to speak directly.
Dazed and Confused specifically does. But one thing before you say this, K-Dot, like you've become adorable to me now that I know you're 21 and you haven't seen any of these things. It's so great.
I've seen a bunch of stuff. I know. If I can visually see it, I can remember it. Some stuff I remember.
So Blasted, you should definitely watch it.
Have you seen Fight Club?
I seen some of it. I didn't finish it.
Another hot take by me.
Okay.
I seen Taxi Driver. I seen Taxi Driver. Good. Seen Goodfellas.
Nice.
Do you like the mob movies?
Film Elitist, what's up?
I want to say this directly to Pickle's audience if he has one. Listen, you guys out there, this man, I'm joking. This man sees this movie the same way he sees Donnie Darko and Fight Club and all these other great 90s movies. I know this guy inside and out. I know why he doesn't like these movies. He only likes unconventional when it's a filmmaking technique, like long tracking shots or weird kung fu shit. He doesn't like it when the conventional storytelling is changed, when there's subtext or it's asking weird questions about the nature of reality. I don't know what it is about that, but it's just an observation. It's subjectively,
he calls himself Philosophical Pickle. That's fascinating.
Subjectively, it does seem to be a running theme that
if
you don't like.
My audience, don't listen to this guy. He's lying, because A Scanner Darkly was way better than Dazed and Confused, and that is unconventional storytelling.
Yeah, but he just said it's with film techniques and doing weird things.
And guess what? And guess what, Nerdman? That whole movie, what probably got him to pay attention to it is that it had unconventional filmmaking techniques where they animated it.
And dude, Robert Downey Jr.'s performance was fantastic.
And no, it's not better.
Oh, it's far better. You talk about the social implications.
If you want to talk about, that's another Linklater movie, right? Because
it's his best film.
No. Waking Life, dude. Go watch that.
All right. I don't know.
Same thing. He did the same thing before Scanner Darkly. Anyway, guys, should we?
But yeah. So everybody, what's your last your outro, nerd man?
Dude,
plug yourself, and
I absolutely love. And it's so good to see you and Film Elite. It's just, I can imagine your relationship outside. It's hilarious. So just for that, I enjoyed it. And yeah, man, this was a flaming hot take, and well done for defending it. You defended it well, dude. Oh, and I'm on Hot Takes Tuesday, so subscribe to me.
Yeah, guys, subscribe, like his content, Film Elitist.
Are you okay?
No, this one finally broke me. I don't know if it's a mental asylum or a hospital, but for a cardiac arrest, I'm going to be getting medical attention after this. Subscribe to my channel. I don't have any videos yet. I left a link in the comments. I'll try to leave another one for you guys. It's not personal. It's just, I don't know, man. This one broke me.
Let me change that tomorrow. Let's do a video on your channel tomorrow, dude, if you can. Or whenever the next time you're free. Let's do a video.
Yeah, tomorrow, Thursday.
You're trying to tell personal secrets about the way I like film. It is personal. K-Dot.
I'm just making an observation.
And I made an observation about this film.
Guys, you're going to go on about this forever. Come on.
K-Dot.
Yes.
I wish you were more into this conversation. I'm sorry we didn't get to the Dragon Ball Z thing. I think Goku could have beat him. And guess what? Before Cell was actually full-fledged Perfect Cell, Vegeta could have also beat him. So multiple characters could have beat him.
That's
I'm talking about like when he becomes Perfect Cell. Well, not Super Perfect Cell, but at Perfect Cell. Not.
Yeah.
We know even Gohan could have beat up Semi-Perfect Cell. Semi-Perfect Cell was like, yeah.
All right, plug your channel.
SJK.Sanctum. Saint, you just type in this here, you guys. Type in that exactly like that, and you'll find my page. You'll find my page, and if the first thing you see is a redo of Hiller, click on those videos. Those are wild.
Yo, K-Dot, what's your favorite Pokemon? Who's your favorite Pokemon?
That's an interesting question.
It recently changed, but my personal favorite is I forgot his name. It's from the Diamond and Pearl, that freaking fire monkey. Chimpani.
Oh, cool.
It used to be Blaziken. Blaziken used to be my favorite. I like the fire types. Fire type's my favorite.
Hey, Film Elitist, drop your channel link in the comments real quick.
Cool.
But dude,
just what I was curious. Mine is Psyduck. I always like Psyduck.
Dude,
I relate to that.
Dude, K-Dot's growing up. My favorite was always Hitmonlee. I don't know why.
Man, you only like him because he's a Bruce Lee ripoff.
Fucking Kung Fu obsession.
What? Get out of here. I'm going to call you out.
Film Elite is just like, he's gunning for
Pickle, can I be honest? Pickle? It took me a while.
Very honest.
It took me a while to figure out that Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, when I was a kid, were like based off of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan.
I still didn't know that till now.
Yeah, because I later had to put two and two together. Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. Because Hitmonlee fights like Bruce Lee, and Hitmonchan has a very Jackie Chan based fighting style.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now that I think about it.
Oh shit! I forgot to send him the link again. I forgot to send Enzo the fucking link. All right. Anyway.
So Blasted, Corman Bates. Let's see who else was commenting a lot. Dick Cheney, Tony, of course. MSK. Everybody who commented, I really appreciate you commenting, watching. Film Elitist and I do this all the time. This was Corman Bates. That's not personal. We blow up at each other like this all the time. So it was fun. Nerd. I'm Philosophical Pickle. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you like my content, like I always say, if you don't like my content, leave a comment saying I'm an idiot. dislike my videos, come shit on me. But yeah, guys, this was awesome. Dazed and Confused is absolutely one of the most overrated movies of all time. Everybody, any words?
Nope.
Nope.
DC's great, better than Marvel.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.